Hey everyone, this is Farhan with the Farhan Real Estate Group, and today we'll be talking about how to buy your first condo in Langley, BC. We're going to be talking about different types of floor plans, layouts, styles, things to look out for, and how to avoid costly mistakes. Now, a lot of my first-time homebuyer clients are loving Langley, but I do want to speak holistically. And by the end of the video, you're going to be able to determine if buying a condo in Langley is right for you. So let's jump right into it. Alright, for starters, we're going to be talking about low-rise wood frame condos. Typically 3 to 6 stories high. You're going to find a lot of these in Willoughby and in the Langley City area. I personally like these, and these are a personal favorite because it gives more of a residential feel. Feels more like a home when you're comparing it to like a high-rise. The catch to these are you have to review the strata documents, make sure it's a properly run strata. Check out the depreciation report, healthy contingency fund, and proactive strata. So you're going to find a lot of good low-rise condos. There's a good building called Union Park. That's a personal favorite. It's got great amenities, and I highly recommend that one. Next up, we have our concrete high-rise buildings. They can go up 20 plus stories. A good example in Langley would be the Latimer Heights. So there's 2 towers. I should have this north tower part removed, but 2 towers, both are high-rise concrete buildings. Normally in Surrey, Coquitlam, Burnaby, these high-rise concrete buildings are near SkyTrain stations, but typically when you're comparing a high-rise to a low-rise like this, the unit sizes would be smaller. And sometimes, obviously situational, the strata fees could be higher. Depending on your lifestyle, your needs, we have options for high-rise and low-rise. So this one's an important one to talk about. We call these the mixed-use development. We have residential living at the top and commercial retail at the bottom. What you're going to find at the bottom would be cafes, groceries, pharmacies. I've seen daycares, I've seen barbershops as well. And the idea behind this development was convenience to the residents. So everything that you need for your daily essentials, you're essentially going to find it at the bottom. You don't really need to take a car out, for your daily needs. A con to this, depending on your unit location, would be the noise and foot traffic. There is a mixed-use development in Surrey near the Gateway SkyTrain station, and this isn't a problem yet that I've seen in Langley because our SkyTrain has yet to be built, or in the process of being built. But near the Gateway SkyTrain station, there's just a lot of foot traffic from the residents and also from the people in that area that don't live there. So you're going to have foot traffic from it's not exclusive to the residents, it's for the public. So it could be noisy, in a commercial space, if it's not taken care of properly, could get dirty. Obviously, depending on the situation, that is a con. I'm not saying all mixed-use developments are like that, but it could be a con. Stratas can also be more strict because commercial is involved. There's more liability, and strata rules can also be strict, and that could also be imposed on the residents as well. So that's something to look out for. I'm not saying this is bad or good. It just depends on the situation, depends on the complex. This could be good if you work from home and you just want to stay home and you don't want to really take a car out. But it could also be bad if the strata isn't ran properly and the commercial spaces aren't taken care of, and there's a lot of foot traffic from people that don't live in the area. So that could also be a con. Next up, we have the new construction / pre-sale, also known as buying a brand new condo. There's a lot of great opportunities in Langley for this. If you like the new and shiny, the convenience of just moving in and not having to fix anything, this is great. There are also a lot of ways where it can go wrong. The most important rule of thumb here is you want to buy into the builder first before you buy the condo. Make sure that they're reputable. And the way these work is that the developer usually asks for 5 to 15% down as a deposit over the course of, could be a couple months, couple days, depending on what their program is, and then you pay the rest on completion. I personally bought into a low-rise not too long ago, and it was a great developer as well, so they did a great job. You want to make sure that you buy into the right builder, the right developer. You might have heard some horror stories with the investors out in Surrey speculating in the market. That's different. They were buying in as investors, speculating in the market. As a first-time home buyer, there are great opportunities if you know how to find them. So that's new construction and pre-sale. Okay, the next topic we have here are older condos. Should you buy them or should you just stay away from them? And a lot of my first-time homebuyer clients ask me this question, and The point that I like to make across is if we ever find an old building that has the proof that it was well maintained, it still appreciates because of the land and location. And on the flip side, it could also be bad where old building wasn't maintained well, location sucks. It still appreciates, but not as much. So essentially what I'm trying to say here is you don't want to completely disregard buying an older condo, because there are great opportunities when it comes to buying an older condo as well, if you can find them. Normally you would find that they are bigger when you compare it to the newer ones. These developers are just making them smaller and smaller as the years go by, so you'd find bigger layouts, sometimes lower purchase prices. The risk, if over 25, however, would be a lot of the major systems would be reaching midlife, so that leads to higher strata fees, special levies. You might have to do minor cosmetic touch-ups, so that could be a risk. So it also depends on like how it was managed. So good idea when to buy. So this is how if I were to buy an old condo, this is how I would do it. If I were to buy old condo in Langley, if I was in your situation, I would do it if the depreciation report is stable. I want to make sure the contingency reserve fund is healthy, there's no big upcoming projects, and the strata minutes show good management. And my rule of thumb is you don't want to buy the building, you want to buy into the building's financial and repair health. So that's how I would buy an old condo. So don't completely disregard it. There are still great opportunities when it comes to buying an old condo. Just be aware of the risks as well. Okay, key things to know about stratas. Strata fee, you want to consider it as a maintenance fee. That's kind of what it is, and it's based on the size of your unit. So in a building, the unit that's larger generally pays more than the unit that's smaller. I want to talk about low versus high fees. I see a lot of first-time home buyers, they get really excited when they see a low fee listing. A low fee doesn't always mean good, and a high fee doesn't always mean bad. A low fee could be a red flag. So if we find out that the strata is underfunding the CRF, which is the contingency reserve fund, it could mean major future costs to you. More importantly, it's have your realtor study the stratas and explain it to you of how it works, so you can get a better idea of what to expect if you were to buy into the condo building. So if I were to buy a condo today in Langley, this is how I would do it, and this is how I would recommend. I would first avoid those micro one beds under 500 square feet. I would never buy those. I would also avoid awkward layouts, so chopped up bedrooms or just a weird angle in the kitchen. None of that. I want a straightforward layout. I also avoid old wood frame buildings under some conditions. So it's not wood frame buildings. I love wood frame buildings, but old wood frame buildings that don't have a depreciation report. So I wouldn't go for those. And if I find an old wood frame building with a low strata fee and has no savings, I wouldn't do it. Any units facing major roads or loading bays. So I wouldn't, it doesn't matter the size of the unit, I wouldn't want it to face a major road or any loading bays. For what I would want, functional layout, good light, proper bedroom sizes, where you can fit like a bed and a nightstand, solid strata where it's ran properly, and location where buyers also like. So an example, Willoughby, I would buy in Willoughby. And the last point I want to make here is if you find it easy to live in and you find that it's functional, it would be easy to resell it. Next up, we have financing. So some advice for the first-time home buyers out there: you want to make sure after meeting your realtor, you want to get your pre-approval done before shopping for homes. And the reason why you want to do that is because you don't want to start shopping for homes and fall in love with a home that's above your budget or under your budget. You want to get the ultimate clarity of your financial situation and go from there. In a market like Langley, it can also make or break the deal if you are pre-approved or not. It shows that you're financially qualified to the seller's agent, and it just makes everything a lot more smoother for all parties. The difference between speaking with a mortgage broker versus a bank for a pre-approval would be a mortgage broker would show you the rates across all the banks, and a bank would only show you the rates that they offer. So I always recommend to speak to an independent mortgage broker. So this is a first-time homebuyer checklist that I created to provide a bird's eye view for my first-time homebuyers. The first step here is to meet your realtor, and then step number 2 would be to meet the mortgage broker and secure financing, get your pre-approval done. Step number 3, that's when we start our home search, and you can have a realtor schedule the showings to see properties, go on these private tours, see what you like, see what you don't like. Step number 4, once you find a home that you like, that's when you can put an offer under subjects, contingencies, and conditions. So what this basically means is, let's just say you like a home, and you want to put an offer on it. You will say, hey, I like your home, I want to buy your home. And I'm just making this like simple. Hey, I like your home, I want to buy your home, but it is subject to me reviewing the strata documents. So until I review the strata documents, we are not this is not a legally binding contract. Once we get those subjects satisfied and removed, and we like it, and you like the home and everything is good, the strata is good, the inspection went well, that's when we remove the applicable subjects and we go into step number 6, which is we paid the 5% deposit of the purchase price, which goes towards the home. So it's on an additional 5%. It's a 5% that goes towards the home. Step number 7, we wait for the completion / closing date. So that takes about 1 to 3 months typically. And then step number 8, the realtor / brokerage will communicate with the notary or lawyer to transfer the title, to transfer the ownership. Step 9, we wait for the possession date and we move in. And then last step, we celebrate together. So that's the bird's eye view of how to buy your home step by step. If you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to go into a lot more detail. Next up, we have the different first-time homebuyer programs that you can take advantage of. I would also consult with an accountant to get a lot more clarity on this. The first program we have is the first-time homebuyer program, the PTT exemption, the property transfer tax exemption. So it's $0, $0 under $500,000, or partial exemption up to $835,000. The second program we have is the FHSA, the First Home Savings Account. So you can contribute up to $8,000 per year and a lifetime limit of $40,000 tax-free withdrawal when the time comes around. Third program is the HBP via the RSP. So you can withdraw up to $60,000 for individuals from your RSP, tax-free to buy or build a home if you qualify as a first-time home buyer. Program number 4, this is if you're interested in buying a brand new condo. If you purchase a brand new condo up to $1 million and you are a first-time home buyer, you may get a full rebate of the federal 5% GST. I would consult with a accountant on the specifics of if you, you pay it up front first and then you get a rebate, or you just get the rebate. You just don't have to pay it for it up front. So consult with an accountant on that. And then 5% down payment on applicable homes, and dependent obviously on your situation. That's a mortgage broker question. So example, if for a $500,000 home, it would be $25,000 down. So yeah, I hope this helps. Hope you found this to be valuable. Any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out, and would be happy to help.